for the first time in years. Got my feet across the border from a land of tears. Ain't no way I'm going back under. Got my eyes in the wild blue yonder. Will lies beyond the horizon? Let's go find out. Feeling free to live my life, free to roll the dice, free to go left or right. I'm gonna feel free to go wherever I choose, free to stay or just cut loose, free to sing, free to dance, free to give into lust and romance, free, that's what I wanna be.
Years ago, when I was in my first year as a teacher, I remember hearing the story of a boy who would go home hungry every day, were it not for the intervention of school cafeteria workers. He was a quiet young man who ate school lunch every day and nothing else. One of the cafeteria workers happened to be paying attention to the world around her, and had noticed that the boy was sometimes hungry. So each and every day, she started to take leftover food and quietly set it aside for the boy to get on his way home from school. I heard about this story in the waning days of the school year, when we were all excited for the end to come. We couldn't wait for the bell to sound and signal that we would all be released to 12 glorious weeks of no homework, no lessons planned, no need to wake up early, no students, no teachers. One of my colleagues was fretting the last day. Why on earth? I asked her. Then she told me the story of this boy. What are we going to do to help him eat? She wondered. On the last days, the cafeteria worker loaded the boy's backpack with as much food as she could. She worried. The boy's parents were seldom around, and he went back every night to a home riddled with addiction, domestic violence, and the general uncertainty that comes from being poor and no longer having the comfort that comes from school or 1980s era commodity government cheese and peanut butter. I would say it. I won't say it, but I still remember his name. I can still close my eyes and see his face, his backpack full of food, and the worry in his eyes as he was released for a summer that had nothing to do with vacation. Leaving for the summer had different meaning for him than it did for many. Coming back to school, something that many of us hate, something that's a chore, was sheer salvation to kids like him and countless others. There's so many things that factor into a successful day or week or month of school. There's so many things that could go wrong. Hunger, bullying, learning disabilities, tired teachers, annoying classmates, natural disasters, and the man-made disasters such as all damn too familiar school shootings. When I taught, I used to tell kids, you are a miracle, and the fact that you are here is miraculous. While I understand that this may sound insincere, corny even, I believe it. In the face of so many potential obstacles each day, one teacher and 30 kids, 30-some kids, maybe 40, come together for a single purpose, even though each and every one of them have their own struggles and motivations for learning or motivations not to learn. Teaching is hard, learning is hard, growing up is hard, and parenting is hard.
Welcome back, guys. This is your girl, Lillie Mae.
M.B.G.
And we want to introduce to you the Westside Connection, JP. That's who you just heard from. You know you're listening to Sipping Tea with M.B.G. On this beautiful Saturday at 12 noon. And we need you to get ready. We know that some of you guys are probably out there school shopping. It's back to school. And as always, M.B.G. is here to first inform and then educate individuals on becoming agents of change in their respective communities. And we hope that through the information and education, we will then motivate and inspire you to act and act accordingly. And so it's been a minute. It's been a minute since we've been able to get together and really sit down and rap to you guys, because we've been in the studio, we've been out of the studio, we've been live, and we're getting back to the basics. So for the month of September, we want to bring you guys back to the basics because school is back in session. And so what we're going to talk about today, we're going to talk about back to school prep. But we're also going to talk about bullying, because the reality is that you guys are getting ready to go back to school. And like I said, some of you might be out there school shopping. And I don't want to do too much with dress code because the Westside Connection he gonna bring it out. But I want to say this. Don't set your kids up. Prepare your kids. And I'm talking to those of you who have elementary school kids. Prepare your kids now. Prepare them at home for what they're going to encounter at school. Teach them that they are more than a label. Because labels can be good and labels can be bad. But anyway, so like I said, we're going to talk about, back to school prep and bullying. And the biggest thing that we need to make sure we focus on is parental involvement. Y, what you thinking?
Yeah, welcome back. We took a little quick hiatus. We always got to rebrand and rethink and change some things over. But, of course, we're back. But I'm just reminded, I do songs and movies and stuff like that. So I'm reminded of the song, It's Just Another Case of That Old PTA. That's not telling my age, but for those who know that, that's Leaders of a New School, before Busta Rhymes went solo. But, another case of the PTA. Parent-teacher,
Association.
Where is that? Has it died out? Where has it gone? Do we even care? When I was in school, it was heavy, and then towards the years, it dwindled and dwindled
when you
and
get to high school.
and dwindled. And it was like less and less involvement. And the number one excuse that parents would say, I ain't got time to come up here and worry about my child. I'm at work. I got to make this money, pay the bills, stuff like that. But once your child gets in trouble, it's truant, locked up, whatever the case may be, bringing bad grades, you want to point the finger at the teacher, but the stuff that's being taught isn't reinforced in the home.
Ooh.
So, I'm not blaming all, but if the shoe fits, wear it. But it's imperative that during the development of a child, that reinforcement is there, that you're there, helping to expand that brain so they can be functioning adults in today's society. That's really what it is. They say I don't even know the age rate. It changes so much. Like in the early, they say adolescence is like early, like before even preteen. That's like the most pivotal. Because after that, they'll catch an attitude. Puberty come in, they don't care. All the hormones, periods starting, all that other crazy stuff. And it's like, oh, you can't tell me what to do. I'm grown, but you're 16, but you're really not grown. But you feel grown. All these confusion and stuff like that. Instead of setting it in the beginning, but the teachers have enough as it is on their plate. There are teachers out here that are worrying day to day if they even going to come back the following year. Worrying day to day that if they don't pass the test, the standards test, that I think is foolish, that they may not have a job. There's teachers out there that the principals and higher administration are getting on them and threatening their jobs.
And that's why they cheating on tests.
Right, threatening their jobs. They're 1 to 30, 35 students to one teacher, no help.
Howard Springs High School?
Very rarely help. Each kid is different. Each kid needs a certain attention. One person can't do that. You got lesson plans, they stand after, and they only getting paid bare minimum to do all these roles, all these hats that they wear. They're not only just a teacher, they're a counselor, they're a problem solver, they're a mediator, they're all the things that a parent should be when the parent isn't there. So it gets frustrating for a teacher, and I'm assuming it gets frustrating for a teacher that you teach day in and day out, in the hopes of is being reinforced, and you come back and the students like, oh, I don't remember, or they don't have the homework, and it's like back to square one.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have parent-teacher conferences, the parents like, well, my child don't do so and so and so. How come he ain't learning? She ain't learned this and that. And the third? Well, they're explaining. I do this. I sit this home. I can't do but so much on my end. I need that help. And I don't know if there needs to be something in place in the beginning of the school year prior to be like, okay, you know where your kids are going. This week, all the parents need to come on in, meet the teachers.
Mm-hmm.
This is what's going on, and establish that rapport, that relationship for the expectation.
Amber, you know what? Let me jump in real quick. I agree with that. That's probably one of my pet peeves, with being in the high school environment, is you have fee night. In my opinion, fee night and meet the teachers need to be at the same time, because you have back to school night like the second week of school.
Who comes? The kids who have straight A's.
Exactly. And my thing is, you have back to school night the second week of school when your child has already decided, oh, I don't like that bitch. Because that's what they say.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
When they're already trying to get out of a teacher's class. And the other thing is, I'm glad that when the principal before the last two principals was there, well, the last three principals was at Highland Springs, we got on the school buses and we went to the neighborhood.
Mm.
And we knocked on doors. That's necessary. The reality is this. Why would I trust my child? Or as a student, why am I going to trust you when you don't even know the environment that I come out of? Parental involvement is so much larger than just, making sure your child do homework. That parental involvement piece means checking their child's phone.
It's village mentality.
Yes.
Everybody, and I'm putting it back on the community.
Yep.
The community hollering and screaming about community police and community this. The police don't come right here unless something going on, but you don't help in part of your community. So this is the same thing. Your child failing certain subjects, or they do well subjects, and the test they just not getting it, and you holler and scream about the teacher ain't shit, teacher ain't that, teacher ain't this. But what are you doing? Are you even having that discussion? Are you either sitting here like, well, maybe my child may have test anxiety. I mean, he or she's doing everything, but it's just a test. I didn't find out until I had test anxiety until I was in college. Then when I asked my mother, I was like, did you ever think I may have had test? And she's like, well, yeah, I thought about it. I'm in college now.
Yep, and you've already been through the process.
But if it wasn't for the professor in the class I took that took notice, I would have never known that I had test anxiety. So it's a community thing. It's a village thing. We holler and screaming about getting back to the village. That's part of the village. Part of the village is coming together. Back in the day, I'm gonna take it back to generations. Back in the day, when my mama went to school, if you was bad, they might pop you with a stick and tell your mama, and then your mama would get on you and tell your daddy when you get home and you get it on.
Shoot, Amber, we didn't even got to go back there. My mama came to my 7th grade classroom and whooped my ass. And she said, Miss Jones, you can't do that. She said, as long as this is mine, I'm going to whoop her. Because the police ain't going to have to do it. I'm going to do it.
Yep.
And back then, we weren't dealing with the issues that we're dealing with now. When I think about parental involvement, I think about my mama being like the secretary of the PTA, like you said, the PTA. I think of those parents taking turns being chaperones on school trips. I think of parents getting together, making sandwiches, and my mama waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning frying chicken for us to take on the school trip. Parental involvement was just that. And the other thing is, parental involvement didn't mean, I'm going to school because these kids trying to jump your child. parental involvement for us was that your mama could come and see about me if my mama couldn't make it.
Yep.
And they could send a note, or it would be on the thing. Because back then, you had to pull out a piece of paper. It wasn't on no computer.
Right.
And if it was on a computer, it was MS-DOS, and you know it was monochrome, but it was on a piece of paper. Back then, your teachers knew your parents because the teachers either went to school with your parents. Well, in my case, my mama was working in the school when my teachers were students, or they taught my brother.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What do you think, JP, like when it comes to parental involvement? Because you're a parent. So speak from the parent's perspective. Your child is getting ready to go back to school, and you have a significant child.
I think that, you have to factor in many things. And one of the things is generational poverty and what was life like for this parent. I read a study not too long ago that said the greatest guarantor of success in this life is your zip code that you grew up in.
Wow.
We have kids coming to school who are in level 1 trauma zones. Some of our schools are level 1 trauma zones. I'm going to be real for that. We have parents who don't have that foundation themselves.
That's
sometimes
true.
Who are raising kids who also will not have that foundation themselves.
Mm-hmm.
It was not my experience that my parents were parentally involved in my school at all. It certainly was not my experience.
Okay.
But that motivation came from myself. But that's not something that we can expect because we know that at least 8 out of 10 people will die in the same socioeconomic status into which they were born. So if we're going to look at parental involvement, we're going to look at making schools and students and teachers better. We have to look beyond individual schools, individual parents. There are a couple of things that I've seen. I believe they did this. I want to say it was in New York City.
Okay.
Where they incentivized parental involvement.
Okay.
So there was some things, and I know it seems to people, people like to make this argument, well, we shouldn't have to do that. Well, should is shit. What do you have to do? It's about solutions. But to increase the involvement of parents, there were things like gift cards donated or bought that parents got. Things like raffles, things that incentivize, that encourage parents. Because also we know, too, that we have a lot of kids who are being raised by their grandparents.
Yep.
We have a lot of kids who are being raised by their great-grandparents or their great-aunts. If you were getting raised by your great-aunt, there is nobody else. I didn't even have a great-aunt.
Wow.
So what are we looking at? We're putting... And then we love to put things on teachers.
That's
Talk
true.
about these school shootings. What is that solution? This dumb-ass solution. Let's arm the teachers.
I don't mean no harm. Let's go there. But let's just hit on there for like 2 minutes. Like, I'll be the first one to say, I have a short fuse. And I'm not saying I would have shot a kid, but if one of my colleagues saw a trip, I'll be like, look, chill. I mean, that is stupid.
Right, and it puts the responsibility of protecting kids on the teachers. So it's no wonder that we're going to put that on the teachers, because what else can we put on teachers? We're already, the teachers are responsible for, teenage pregnancy. They're responsible for the kids getting enough to eat. We simply can't continue to put the responsibility for all of these things on schools.
So, Amber, I ask you this then. You think we should coin it family involvement and not just parental involvement?
Yeah.
Family and community involvement. And I was working on a CSIP, and guys, if you don't know what that is, it's a comprehensive school improvement plan. And that was one of the things I said in the school improvement plan was that we have to figure out how to elicit a community crisis response. And what I meant by that was that We have to say that this is an emergency and we need the community to come together. Well, how do you do that? Well, you got to show the community what the return on investment is. Well, if you invest in this school, maybe these students will stop coming and stealing from your store. Because right now, you just in their neighborhood. You're not supporting them. They're giving you their money or their, EBT or whatever.
Or how about you come in and maybe teach on business?
Thank you. Partnerships. I mean, look at, I'm not going to say here in the greater Richmond Metro, but I look at Danville and I look at Avery University, and Avery University graduates people from here. They have a satellite campus here. The only thing that I really remember Avery doing for the school system is giving teachers internships. Like, why not have the criminal justice students come and talk to those students that keep getting in trouble? Why not have the drama students come and put on a production for kids who are more, hands-on learners, or kids who are very artistic?
Yeah, not every child is booked.
No.
You have those that go through the motions to
the dimensions of gifted and talented.
And then, but not everybody's gonna go off to college, and that's a reality. Mm-hmm. And some kids are about trade. Some kids are more hands-on.
I agree.
That's why, and that's why at Newport News you had magnet schools.
Yep. That
were doing certain things. Like my school was aviation. If you want to do the whole airplane.
Oh, really? Okay.
Westside was more diverse. They had like arts, creative writing, fashion, stuff like that. You had music, different things like that. But they're so quick to take funds from that, not realizing that everybody is different and everybody's not going to excel in what you think education should be. Because I'm quite, just because you came through with a spoon in your mouth, you had money and you went to Harvard and you excelled that way, or you went
that doesn't mean that everybody's going to do that.
You excel that way doesn't mean that 5 kids from now are going to the same way. It does not. No.
Don't act like you hit a home run when your ass was born on third base.
Right.
Facts. Now I like that. Oh Lord, you know what? He's going in today.
It's a village mentality that we have to.
We do
to get, and I commend the teachers. As the tutoring, I would get frustrated. You tutoring a child, and then I'm like, we just went over this yesterday. What? And then I had a little boy. I'm sorry. I'm just so tired because his mama is working 3 jobs. He trying to help raising his little brother.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? They don't even have a childhood.
But
we have to take into account of our own responsibilities we're doing. And I'm gonna take it there. Stop having all these churn.
Yes.
Stop having all these churn.
That's true.
Stop putting your whatever it is you got internally going on out on.
That's right.
11 men or whoever you sleeping with, and having all these churn that you can't care for.
That's right.
And then it trickles on down to like you said, wherever you add to the drugs, the addiction, and the children are suffering every day because you can't get over your issues that came from how you was brought up. There always used to be a saying, like my mother or brother would be like, well, I want you to be better than me, that saying. But just like JP said, how can you?
No.
If the stats are saying you might die in the same socioeconomic that you was raised in. But again, there's nothing there to help improve everybody. And again, me and movies, boys in the hood said it.
Yep.
Boys in the hood said it. What is the best way to keep a people down? Is take the ability to take the means to rehabilitate themselves. Mm-hmm. In poor neighborhoods, it's a liquor store on every corner. It's different things to debilitate yourself. But out in West End somewhere, you might see one every 10 lights.
So Amber, and I'm going to just throw this out there, and I want you to research it, guys. So if you're listening, once again, you're listening to Sipping Tea with M.B.G. It's 12 noon, and we sitting here sipping on this good. I got Russian tea. Amber got her Hennessy and tea. JP, what you got over there? What kind of tea you got over there?
7-7.
Oh, turn up. And so
24/7.
Why are we sitting here sipping this good tea this afternoon? We talked about socioeconomic status. What better transition into talking about dress code?
Yeah.
So
we do realize, and just gonna put it out there because not everybody's on the same schedule, but we do realize that some states have went back to school already in August, but in Virginia, we go back after Labor Day. Why?
Well, in this area, we're King's Dominion law.
Yeah.
And if you don't understand what King's Dominion law is, basically most of the high school students work at King's Dominion. So schools in our area,
same thing for Busch Gardens.
Schools in this area are at liberty to decide basically when they want to go back to school.
But either way, this conversation still applies whether you're in school.
It does.
Let's get into this dress code.
So when we talk about dress code, I mean, there's a lot of things to sort of talk about before we even get them. Some people don't even believe in dress code. You've had lawsuits over dress codes. What is the purpose of a dress code? And more importantly, how do you enforce a dress code? I went to a high school that had a dress code that was not enforced. Now, this was before people sagged in skinny jeans. You know, this is back when we wore jeans that were 10 sizes too big with gigantic belts. Just that's the way you should sag. I'm sorry.
If you go sag,
you wear your pants big. Don't show your underwear. If people think they're showing the underwear anyway.
Well, we
not to be so much like, well, in my day.
But it is what it is.
But the dress code at my school was not enforced. The dress code I've taught at 3 different schools.
Really?
The only one that it was enforced at was because it was a jail.
Ooh, okay.
Sorry, you taught it. We taught together. Tell me that a dress code was enforced.
Oh no, it wasn't. It wasn't. But my thing is this. The other thing is, if you're going to have a dress code, and this is for any educator out there, teachers, administrators, or what have you, don't expect the teachers to enforce the dress code. Administrators, do your job.
Yes.
Stop trying to get your friendship game up and getting your Twitter followers and your Instagram followers from students and do your job. I'm just saying.
Do your job. Why are you? Another thing that you're relying on teachers for. I'm sorry, but dress code is weak and whack. I'm for uniforms.
Okay.
And that's controversial. A lot of people don't like uniforms.
Okay, all right.
But you take uniforms, first of all, especially in the lower grades. You cut out bullying. You cut out people who are getting made fun of for wearing a certain style of clothing. Plus, you can make uniforms really basic. I'm just talking about a polo shirt and some pants.
True.
And people that worry about, well, what about our kids' ability to express themselves? Do it in art or creative writing.
I'm sorry. Excuse my French. Fuck their ability to express themselves in clothes, when the reality is that is the reason that so many kids are getting picked on and coming back and shooting these damn schools up.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like, I guess for me, my parents didn't raise my brother in our own name brand clothes. And it's so interesting because as much as I like to shop, and y'all know I got a shopping problem, but you can count the amount of name brand clothes and shoes I have in my house.
Look, I had these they were from Kmart, right? There was some knockoff Timberlands.
I know that's
and
right.
I told everybody that they were imported from Canada.
Oh, you wanted them, Tim. That was trauma. That was childhood trauma.
Childhood trauma. That's lowercase t trauma. But my point is like, sometimes people will do things that try to please everybody. So it's like, let's shoot for the middle. We won't make, the people who want kids to be able to wear whatever they want to wear, and then the people who want uniforms. So let's create this dress code. To me, it's a whack-ass policy because it's too open to interpretation. And teachers do not have time to go around and look at your T-shirt and say, you know, that T-shirt might be offensive.
That's right.
I don't have time for that.
No.
Wear your uniform. Quit trying to express yourself. And if you want to express yourself, do it in a meaningful way.
You know, my mother had uniforms, and she was, back then they had the long skirts,
Mm-hmm.
She ain't like that.
Okay.
So, of course, she'd leave out the house with her long skirt just to appease her mama. But as soon as she got on that bus, she rolled her skirt up, short, like,
I used to do that.
That was, with the uniform thing, that would be like you would find some type of style within it, but you make sure you took that down when you go back in that house.
Mm-hmm.
But when I was in school, it was important, like, the first week to show off some fresh gear or show off your fresh hair. And we had the kids in there that we knew weren't about that, didn't have it or the case may be. And, of course, there was some TV going on. But until what now, because we didn't even know it then, the kids might have been autistic, but we didn't even know it was autistic then.
Okay.
So, we would tease and all of that. But after the first week, it was kind of like, all right, we go back to our regular clothes. But it was kind of like a showcase. Ooh, I got my fresh all white Air Force Ones with my, I'm dating my Mecca with my dragon, my hair laid. It was you just hype. First day, look at me. That type of thing. But the uniform, I'm with the uniform because it will cut down on a lot. And
people be talking about it's expensive. No, it's not, because you can go to Walmart. You can go online and Google them joints on Amazon. It is.
Uniform for cheaper than a pair of shoes. And also, Amber, you brought up a good point, because, you go to school, you see what people are wearing, and you begin this, like, self-segregation, separation.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the people who look like me, dress like me, walk like me, talk like me. If I'm going to go up into a school with a uniform on the first day, I might get to know somebody who isn't exactly like me. And isn't that how we become kinder, better, more empathic people?
That's true.
It's by getting to know the stories and the people who are very different from us.
That's true.
And none of the schools that I went to down in Newport News was uniform. They had that. They had the dress code with shorts got to be a certain length and all that crazy stuff. But it was never uniform. They talked about it.
Okay.
It was thrown out there. School board. They had a discussion with the little teacher, like we may be going to uniform. It may look like this. And of course, first money. I can't afford it. But as soon as Jordans hit of a refurbished, I'm calling it refurbished, shoe of Jordan, you were the first one down there because your child hollering screaming about a Jordan, which I was never into. So, and you would come out cheaper. And I think if the schools will present uniforms like, okay, we do a set for the school year, right? And if you buy this, it's going towards something educational within the school, like to a department or to a scholarship or to like a college, something like that too. So it won't be, I'm just buying because they holler, they want this uniform and I ain't got time to be paying. That the excuse that people would give for buying stuff. And of course, in Virginia and whatever state, take advantage of the tax-free weekend. Stop waiting until the last minute.
Right.
We got people still to this school.
I'm sorry, but I got to cut you off.
Come on, man.
The funniest meme that I saw on Instagram was something to the effect, I'm trying to figure out how all these people on Section 8 going to Jamaica and to the Bahamas. Bitch, you're not even a homeowner. That's what I think. The meme was something like that. It was something like that. And, that thing got me to thinking. We are the working poor. Now granted, I don't want for anything. My bills are paid. I got more than enough food. But when I say that we're working poor, because we cannot just get up and drop $1 million. We can't just get up and go buy no jet. We got to go to work.
Right.
Then we use our vacation time. We got to let it build back up.
But and I get that we are the working poor, and that's another subject in itself.
It is indeed.
But we don't take advantage of things that occur. Like, for instance, tax-free weekend. That was a perfect time to go get your supplies.
Right.
You know, of things like that. Or if you happen to know somebody that's a teacher, hey, can you think you come with me so I can use a discount, get some supplies. Get some clothes, decent, as long as it's presentable. I guess for me, when I was growing up, even though name brand thing was in, it wasn't such of a big deal as long as you was presentable in your clothes.
Oh, yeah. But see, Amber, for us, too. Like, everybody, the only thing I ever wanted was a Nautica jacket. Because, you know, everybody had that Nautica jacket. But, hell, they ain't make them in my size. Because I needed about a 5 or 6X.
Just be resourceful. Like,
yes.
Tax-free weekend.
Right.
Or all these community organizations had come get a book bag.
Oh no, I want a some book bag.
Don't just go and rack up like you ain't got no sense.
Right.
But if you really in a need, it's out there, and just use your resource. Don't be so prideful to be like, oh, I don't want you to do this and that. It happens. I done been resourceful before. I done took hand-me-downs.
Look, let me tell you something. Everything, and that's the thing, guys. Listen, we're not trying to bash anybody, but we're trying to, you know, one thing that we do here, Sipping Tea with M.B.G, we are always trying to talk to you from our experience. And for me, it was a unique situation because elementary school, I could get like husky girl stuff. But by the time I got to middle school, I was wearing grown-ass women clothes with the W behind it. That stuff didn't look like a child should be wearing it.
Right.
So my mom, you know, my cousin Kim was in college, so she would send me some of her stuff, and it still didn't look like a child should wear it, but it also didn't look like an old person would wear it either. But even then, I mean, shoot, I was wearing Prada and stuff like that because that's what Kim wore. But my mom and daddy weren't paying for it. It was a hand-me-down, and I was proud. You got to instill values and confidence in your children at home.
Yeah.
It's not about what they have on.
Or what they look like.
Or what they look, yes, or what they look like. I don't know. And we're going to get into respect for authority, but it bothers me in 2018 when just 20 years ago, my brother was graduating from high school in 1998. And y'all, I don't remember school shootings in 1998. Columbine came around when I was in school in about 2001.
Yeah, I think Columbine was
99. Was it like 99, 2000? Because I know I was in high school when it happened.
I had already graduated a few years before Columbine. But I don't remember it. You know, of course. It
was in 99. It was in, and that was my first year. That was, you know what? That was my first year in high school.
And you know what happened after that? Because we're talking about dress uniform. They restricted trench coats. Right after that.
But you know, these fools after that they started wearing trench coats to school.
But you know, a lot. But we had the gothic kids when I was in high school, and they were always wearing. There was always the dress with the big boots and all that.
You have to push the envelope. It's what they do. You know what? It's our responsibility as adults not to let them.
That's right.
And so when that happens, you got trench coat. You suspicious all of a sudden.
Right.
But now, how is it that you look suspicious because you had like that incident, but you know it was no such thing in the dress code.
Yeah.
Now you got to revamp everything and put you can't have no long coat, can't be black and all this other crazy stuff. So and after that, it was like every incident. You can't have this, you can't wear that, you can't have this, you can't wear that. So you might as well go to uniform if you're gonna be naked after a while.
I mean, and to the point, you know, I've seen all kinds of dress code violations, but I have never seen anyone, not one person, come to school naked. Not one person.
But everything is mental illness, though. And normally when people are mentally ill, that's the first thing they want to do is get naked.
I'm wearing a polo shirt. It costs $5, right? $5. It's a polo shirt. Polo shirts are cheap. You buy them at Walmart for $5. You buy.
But see, you know, these kids got to have a polo symbol because they even picking on the what is the U.S. Polo Association? That ridiculous.
Right, but if you have a uniform, do you have to worry about this? And let me say, like I told you, I was fortunate enough to graduate before Columbine.
Okay.
So my experience with school shootings, I mean, we had shootings in the neighborhood. You know, the 80s and 90s, that's the drive-by.
Okay, all right.
We had those shootings, but we didn't have active shooter drills back then. And we were fly, too. We were fly in the way that we dressed. And the big thing back then, and this is the early 90s that I'm talking about, vests, colorful vests in the style of...
Yeah! But wait a minute, windbreakers. What you know about windbreakers?
And why though did I one time... See, my grandma made some curtains. And they had cows on them and clouds. And I said, Grandma, would you make me a vest?
A vest? Oh, no. Oh, no.
And I'm going to be so fly because that's what it was about in the early 90s, was wearing this much color. And
it was loud.
Yes. But wait a minute. But what about Picture Day, though? You remember Picture Day? I don't know about y'all, but I couldn't wait to wear my Easter dress. I wore my Easter dress on Picture Day. On Picture Day, we didn't go to school dressed to a T. You would have thought everybody was going to church. Like, you don't even have Picture Day no more for real. Or when they have Picture Day, the little kindergartners got so much weave in their head, I be thinking they got more bundles than me. Oh my God!
I'm not even gonna go there. Why don't you put weave in your 5-year-old head?
Uniform.
I think uniforms would be beneficial. I think if they
it would help the bullying situation. I believe
it would do that. And I think if they utilize it in a way for it to be cost effective, and it goes back into to show, like you were saying, the rate of return instead of doing it just for private. People pay big money for the private.
They sure do.
For public.
Wow.
Do it for public, I think, and it will cut down on that bullying. The only thing you probably had a bullying would be like, oh, your hair look crusty, or you got a nappy head, or your hair ain't yacky, or something like that.
Oh, that's all they can say. Oh, their bundles came from AliExpress.
Right. Yeah. They might say something about your bundle.
But you know, and then it trickles down to respect. And RESPECT.
Or as Al said, RESPICT.
Oh, all right there.
He said respect.
You know, we definitely want to continue to give our sympathies and condolences to the family of Aretha Franklin and also to the families of John McCain. And you guys pretty much know where M.B.G stands with the political climate. But one thing that we won't do, unlike our president of the United States, is we will not fail to give credit to whom credit is due. And so we really extend our deepest sympathies to the family of John McCain, because that's what respect is all about. When you respect someone, you don't have to agree with them. You don't have to even like what they do, but you respect their rights as a human being. And that's what it's about. So as you return back to school, and this is for parents, grandparents, guardians, students, when we say respect authority, we're not saying just respect them because they're adults, because we know that sometimes we as adults, we get it wrong. What we're saying is that you have to learn to follow rules and regulations. So instead of thinking of the teacher as the authority, think of that rule that's in place for you to follow. That's what the authority is. The authority is the law. If you start thinking about authority as a thing and not as a person, it might be a little bit easier for you to respect it. Because, see, I think what the issue is, when we ask young people to respect, right, the first thing they say is, well, that person don't respect me. But I think we're going to have to start really showing them what respect is. So respect is saying good morning. Even if you haven't been taught, respect is saying good morning.
Having manners.
Yeah, respect is saying, excuse me if you have a loud burp in class. Respect is saying, you can even say my bad. I will accept that. You knocked my paper off the desk, my bad. I'll accept, what's up, Miss Jones? You don't have to say good morning, what's up, Miss Jones? If that's all you know, just acknowledge the presence of your elders, if anything. But we have to really understand this concept of authority as a safety shield. And the reason I say that is because we already know what time it is. Mm-hmm. We already see what's going on. We already know that disrespect, and I use disrespect lightly, is the reason so many black men and women are getting killed at the hands of police officers. Yeah. And because we're behind the scenes right now and you can't see us, I put disrespect in quotes because disrespect has to be defined. And disrespect, like you said, JP, has to be defined in its cultural context because what's disrespectful to you may not be disrespectful to me. Mm-hmm. So once again, you know, as we talk about returning back to school and respecting authority, parents, just tell your children to please pull those pants up, take those headphones out when you're in class, put that phone away, turn it off.
Leave it at home.
Parents, I need you to have some respect and stop texting and calling your child while they're in class. Oh. It's nothing that's serious. If a relative passed away while that child is in school, call the school or come up to the school and get them. It's no need of you texting them. Then they break down and run out of the classroom. You got to show them that you respect the educational process.
Because otherwise they won't.
Thank you.
Otherwise they won't.
You know, what respect means to me is that you understand that I'm a human and you work with me to understand me. And listen to what I said. What respect means to me is that you understand that I am a human, but you work with me to understand me. And in order to work with me, you got to talk to me and get to know me. Because that's another part of respect. You can't respect what you're unfamiliar with. Take the time to get to know. And then you start to form your relationships. And that's the other thing. You cannot expect a child to respect you if you don't build rapport with them in this day and time. We were different because we were of those generations that were taught you respect your elders. I don't care what they do. And then you come get me if you feel disrespected. But see, now these kids have been taught, if their teacher do something to you, you cuss them out. That's not right. I'm sorry, it's not right.
I'm going to tell you a quick story about respect that just brought to my mind now. There's a woman, she's white, but all her children are biracial. So her oldest daughter is, she got 2 kids, staying with her grandparents, her mom's mama and stepdad or whatever they're supposed to be. So the grandchild comes home. She's been respectful. She's been staying there, doing what she needs to do, whatever, with her and her kids. She comes home with one of her friends, black guy, and of course he comes and the music's loud. But you don't hear it until she opens the door and she gets out the car. So she get out the car, go in the house, or something like to that nature. But you can hear it, it's loud. Her grandfather comes out the mouth and says, tell him to turn that nigger jigaboo music down.
Ooh.
Never heard her grandparents say anything of that nature.
Wow.
And she was so shocked. She ain't say nothing. So she respected. She didn't even say anything bad in that way. She just was so shocked and taken aback, like, oh my God, I've never heard my grandparents, and I'm half black, and you saying that. Let me call my mama. She calls her mother and says, I had to adjust because this is what was just said. her mom came up to that house and cussed that man out.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
And so what happened? And so now it's like, ooh, do I stay? You know, because I need a place to stay to get myself together. Do I stay in that, knowing? Because now it comes to the point where I respect you in a sense because you're my grandparent. But in the back of my mind, now that you just said it out in the open, ain't no telling what you're saying about me or about my kids. So now the grandchild had to move or went elsewhere because, you know, she didn't want to be. That's trauma.
It is.
To her. But I say that to say that in the midst of that, she didn't bark back. She didn't question, or she didn't do anything. So she respected, and of course, the part of respecting your elders. Like you said, come get me.
Yeah.
She called her mom, and her mom went up there and went all the way home.
Yep.
And she did, and they did what we see Permanent Patty and them do, cry and all of that, and make a scene. And he blamed it on his diabetes. That he
of course.
that he went on
like Roseanne.
Lord, that's a different.
Oh my God! Yeah, we're gonna, guys. Wow.
But I'm saying that to say like the grandchild respected, like she didn't go off, because you know any other child nowadays, the way they cursing at these teachers and stuff, with you know.
Oh heck yeah!
You know,
child.
They doing what they see, but knowing how her mom raised her, she just like, you know what? Let me call my mother and tell her what was said. Because even though I'm 20-something years old, and these are my
she was probably in shock though.
And these are my grandparents, and I can't believe I heard my grandparents saying something like that, and I'm half black and my children half black. You know, so you know, let me call her and tell her. And she said, it wasn't even like 2 seconds. She was at that door knocking the door, telling that man she was gonna beat his ass next time he came out the mouth fly like that.
Wow.
And that's when he cried to the diabetes, sugar level, all of that. Ain't no sugar in the world, low in the world, ain't no ambient enough to make you be racist. I'm just letting y'all know.
Racism is not a side effect to any medication that I know of.
Well, it just seemed like that's what Roseanne said. Now I don't know, y'all better pay attention.
When I had heard about that part, it tickled me so bad. I said, not diabetes though. I heard some stuff, but not the sugar.
Oh, sugar beaties.
Not the sugar, not the sugar diabetes.
Oh God, I can't take it.
Even though she was in shock, she still respected her grandparents, because that's when it's something like that and dealing with family.
And that shit hurt though.
It's a pull, because a party was like, oh, they just disrespected me, my friend, whatever, and the other party, but this is my family.
Yeah.
At the same time.
And what am I supposed to do?
Yeah, and where's the line? Where's the line? We got another thing on respect. We got to stop using that excuse where I'm family.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I agree.
I don't care you family, 2/3 removed or not. Don't be disrespectful.
Amber, I agree.
Blank period.
I agree with you.
Just because you family by blood don't make it.
That don't mean you can talk to me any kind of way. That's right. That's right. I agree.
The thing is, people, there's this way, and you see it a lot, especially upon, across racial lines. Okay, if I insult you calmly, and then you go off on me, and you're not grammatically correct, maybe you a little bit loud, and then but I'm the victim. Right? So I'm going to come in, I'm going to play the victim card because you made yourself look crazy, right? In my eyes, and maybe in the eyes of people that's watching. So you're just because your tone is a certain way, and you're not communicating in a way that seems respectful, does not mean you're wrong. But this is an imperfect world.
And everybody expects you to communicate like them, and I this week I had to realize that my communication is selective. Like, I struggle with communicating with people that I really care about because I don't want to hurt their feelings. I don't want them to feel bad, but I had to come to realize that if I didn't, I was going to continue to be hurt myself. And so, I just feel like at the end of the day, just respect the process. Respect everybody's growth process. That's the other thing. Everybody got to grow at their own pace. You know, that's really all I can say. I mean, M.B.G, I know you have reflections, and I know that you believe in this respect thing. I mean, you taught it to my students, so, but let's definitely knock out these reflections by M.B.G. And guys, really, I hope you've enjoyed Sipping Tea with M.B.G because we've been going in today.
All right, these are the reflections of M.B.G, and as always, it's just my thoughts, man, as Jay-Z say. So for this week, this is what's my thoughts, what came to me, what I like to share, and I think it goes well since we're in September, brand new month. It's the 9th month of spirituality, that's completion, because it comes all the way full circle 9 times, you know, all that great stuff. So, new chapter affirmation. My time is now. No more waiting for the right moment. No more hesitation. I am ready for this chapter. I am ready for the shift that's about to take place. My soul is prepared to unleash the magic that it contains. My breakthrough is here.
Okay.
And I think that's so appropriate because, like I said, we're in September. A lot of new beginnings. School is starting, brand new school year. Some people getting jobs like me.
Whoop, whoop. We talking about schools, and she about to be in one.
So it's just great. A lot of people are embarking new journeys. A lot of people have graduated in the spring from college, and they're just starting into their jobs. So this is a lot of new beginnings.
It is.
You know, prospering and everything like that. So just, you know, take it in, pace yourself.
Yeah.
You know, learn, you know, what's going on, observe, and make the necessary changes. If the adaptation ain't right, it doesn't stick with you well, then you know what you got to do. You got to make moves.
That's right, M.B.G. Thank that observing. Thank you.
Don't
sit
in an area because it's comfortable at the moment because you're scared to step out. A lot of us are still sitting at a job that you know ain't right. It's dragging you. You being stressed. You can't hardly sleep. You having back aches, chest aches, all kinds of stuff. It's time for you to go.
It is.
It's time for you.
And when you leave, it feels so good.
Right. What God has for you is for you, and a lot of times He's just waiting for you to move. So as soon as you move, watch the steps form, watch the blocks move. So again, new chapter affirmation: go forth and prosper. That's my reflection.
Amen.
Wow, Amber, I don't know what to say. You got us all fired up and stuff. Like, what you talking about, kid? What you talking about? Wow. So, guys, this is awesome. Once again, school is back in session. You've been listening to Sipping Tea with M.B.G with your girl Lillie Mae, M.B.G, and we definitely introduced to you his debut, J.P. the Westside Connection. So, listen, we will be back next Saturday, 12 noon, and next week and the week following that, because 2 weeks in a row, we're going to be talking about child support. Why you so mad? All right, guys, once again, as always, M.B.G listens.
And then we speak.
Holla back.
Over water for the first time in years. Got my feet across the border from a land of tears.